Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Ambassador Stefan. Welcome.
Very good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's been a while. Yes, Abdul, I can see you. Julie, welcome. Martin, welcome. Let's just give ourselves like another 2-3 minutes.
Sure.
Yeah. Foritia.
Yes, sir, I'm listening.
Why don't you put the anniversary logo sound so that it should be like, while we are waiting for guys to join. Let it not be like in a graveyard, Or don't worry, I'll put it from this end. Let's see this one. Yeah.
Good.
Sir, sir, can you hear me? Some people can't join the meeting in. It's saying the host is not letting them in.
It's okay. I'm here. I can see that.
Okay, sir.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Good. So Ambassador is right here. Ambassador, welcome. Let me stop this video. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay. I think we are all here. We are set. We are set to go. We are 1 minute, 1 minute past 8. Oh my goodness. Sorry. We're 1 minute past 8. Thanks very much, ambassadors, for honoring my invitation. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Perfect. Yes, I can see Ambassador Gaiden. Ambassador Gaiden, welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. So
Happy to
actually,
be...
yes, you're gonna actually set the pace of this discussion. I think the agenda. Let me pull out the agenda right now. It's right on the screen. 1 second. Yeah, we have the agenda right there. Sure. So that's the agenda. Colleagues, welcome. I'm so delighted to have you here. Welcome once more. You for taking out time from your busy schedule to be part of this. In fact, those are some of the partners that supported for this event to be able to be successful. So the theme of this meeting is going to be shifting from SDG dialogues and SDG corners to SDG pavilions. Let me explain a little bit. SDG dialogues, I mean, bringing people together, 3, 5, 6 people together and discussing about the SDGs. We were able to do that many years back in the inception of the SDGs. And then we went to SDG corners where we're able to set up maybe in libraries, in schools, we're able to carry up little shelves to place SDG documents, SDG goals, and some of the ballots right there. So I think it's been very, very successful. And we said, okay, reason being that we have just 5 years to the targets, why don't we come up with a more sustainable and practical solution? That's why a couple of days ago, we came up with a new idea. Let's go to the pavilion, because a pavilion, usually we usually see the pavilion at the level of the COP meetings, but now we said, let's bring the pavilion closer to the students and closer to the people. So the pavilion, we thought about it, that it should be a space where people can have coffee, you know, discuss their other matters. Why admiring the SDGs? And we equally move to the bus stations. I already sent an email to Ethiopian Airlines if they could equally help us project the SDGs on their screen. So my team in Addis Ababa are working towards that to make that happen. They're going to give us a feedback soon. So I want to say thank you very much. Mama Nina, I can see you. Welcome, Mama Nina. I think Mama Nina may have, I'm sure she should be the oldest here. She's 82 years old. She decided to take off everything and say, let her come and celebrate with us here, Gerda. So with this, Gerda, please, I'll give you the floor to set the scene of this discussion. And then,
Okay.
yeah, you have 10 minutes, Gerda, to give your keynote and equally set the pace. Then I'll take back from you. Over to you, Gerda.
Thank you very much, Divine. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for having me because I was announced as a former ASG and a former global coordinator of the Scaling Up Nutrition Movement. And that's all former indeed. Since then, I've reinvented my life. I went back to my home country, the Netherlands, and reinventing my life. I've got involved into changing the food system in the Netherlands, because it's not only needed in countries in development, it's needed everywhere if we want to have a sustainable but also a healthy food system, producing the right food. So I'm now involved in a movement called the Next Food Collective. It's a combination of farmers, producers along the food value chain, the small and medium-sized enterprises, but also the bigger companies, and 5 universities and research institutions. And what they do is discussing the challenges on the ground, because most of our food is growing bottom up. Why do I explain this? Why do I introduce myself a little bit? Because these are key and core to my remarks. And I have 5 remarks and suggestions to make, because I appreciate the title, but it's not happening in the dialogues. Well, it's happening in the dialogues to come together. It's not happening in the SDG corners, because there people promise each other. It will not happen in the pavilions. Of course, it's an encouragement, it's a stepping up, and it's maybe getting more attention, etc. Actually, it's happening on the ground. And for this reason, always focus whatever you do on what does this mean for farmers? How will this work out in the field, on the farmyard, and how will it be possible to be integrated, implemented, and sustained? This is my first remark. So whatever you do, wherever you are, focus on those who need to win and to gain from this, and who are desperately looking to your leadership, Divine, but also to all the other ambassadors and speakers today, as well as to me. The second remark is invest in the offtake by the food value chain, because only the primary production is not good enough. I mean, farmers are very often put on pressure or pressed into a contract to produce. They're taking all the risk, etc. So guaranteeing the offtake to a for a just price should be part of the conversation in order to come forward to the to concrete solutions. And if all is correct, all these kind of things are already discussed in stakeholder collaboration and stakeholder disputes that David Nabarro and Forrest Loss-Ben are leading and encouraging and supporting so dearly. But always keep it in mind in whatever you do. The third is the importance of de-risking farmers. Because as I said before, farmers are taking the risk of having a failed harvest, of food losses and waste, harvest waste, no storage or no cooling system cooling system or whatever. So de-risking should be part of the support that is offered to farmers or can be decided upon by farmers themselves. And of course, also open more roads to be financed. Very often, and you know it, Divine, and we all know it, many of the farmers are smallholder farmers or maybe family farmers. And big banking institutes don't like to have too many different people, too many different small and medium-sized enterprises. So please find concrete solutions that maybe be different in Senegal from Rwanda, and in Nairobi different from Vietnam, let me put it like this, or from Peru. So it should be country-oriented or region-oriented. My fourth remark is, please take care of policy and regulations, because to many solutions that we want to take forward, it's the policy or the regulations that do not allow it. And policies are there to be changed. I've been in diplomacy, but I've also been in politics, and policy can be changed. And the policies and regulations that have served society in the recent 10, 20 years do not serve the desired change towards sustainability and towards healthy and affordable food systems. So policies are there to change, even as the regulations are. My final remark here is invest in training, but also in ownership, because too often, and even still now, I can see and hear too many discussions of global initiatives that say, all right, we know what to do, give us the money and we will make it happen. It's very often not the case, because you need to stand shoulder to shoulder with those people who don't want to be dependent again of support of others, but who want to be trained and given the opportunity to own innovative approaches and to be the owner of a farmership, of a food system that is both sustainably but also healthy, and is providing them, their family and their communities with a decent income. And with this, Divine, I would please hand it over, and I'm looking forward to the concrete results of this seminar. And once more, thank you, congratulations.
Thank you, my mother, Gather. Thank you very much for the great job. I mean, I remember when the first time we met, I remember what you used to tell me, Divine, keep pulling on, keep doing what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. We have our support, and I can see it for real. Thank you very much indeed. With this, I'm going to move from Gather to Ambassador Stéphane. Ambassador Stéphane was the former special envoy to COP15, the French ambassador for COP15, where we had the COP agreement, the Paris Agreement. So, Ambassador Stéphane, over to you.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Great. Well, indeed, you remind me of a very interesting period when we first met, and that was during the preparation of COP21, when I was special envoy to help prepare the conference for Africa and the Middle East. Well, I'm not so knowledgeable in agriculture as my Dutch colleague, but still you bring back very good memories. But not only that, you also make me think of what's going on at present, both in the world and at my humble local level. In the world, I mean, we all read the newspapers. We know how the issue of food security is still very relevant and even burning in many countries. We've seen, for example, what's happening in Zambia right now due to a terrible drought, the lack of water, which affects both agriculture and electricity production. We've seen the effects of the crisis in Ukraine on food production, food imports in Africa, and so on and so forth. And we also all know the effects on the environment. But what you're doing with GCSAYN also reminds me of what we're trying to do in my small village, in my small region. Actually, I live in the countryside, 30 kilometers from Paris, and I'm deputy to the mayor of our little village, 1,800 inhabitants. And within our town, but also with other towns and various syndicates and associations, we, among other things, we endeavor to try and shorten the way food circulates, is delivered and consumed, especially in schools. Right now, in our school, in this village school, we still use industrial food, which is brought over from Normandy, some 200, 250 kilometers away, which is ecologically and economically a nonsense. So we aim at being able to produce our own food for our school, and we should hopefully be able to do that in a couple of years. And we also have young producers who endeavor to produce more locally so that consumption throughout our villages will be more focused on local products and less on important and especially in industrial products, which doesn't mean obviously that there are certain products we cannot import because we can't find them here for maybe due to the climate. Another element which I think is very relevant in what you're doing and which is exemplified first by the dialogue and then the pavilions is twofold. Number one, the focus on young people, students, pupils, school pupils, students, high school students, university students, so on and so forth, because it's very important for them to be sensibilized and to be more interested in agriculture and food production. But also your insistence, which I can only commend, on cooperation. And this is the whole concept of pavilion, which I find very, very attractive. And this also reminds me of what we're trying to do, or some producers, some farmers are trying to do in our little region. I'm thinking in particular about a young lady who raises goats, and she makes a wonderful cheese, goat cheese, but also ice cream. Mind you, before I met her, I would never think that ice creams made with goat milk could be that good, but they're really excellent, and she's become more and more successful. But not only that, but she also tries, helps other producers. From time to time, she organizes fairs in her courtyard with other producers of cheese, honey, fruit, vegetable, whatever it is, in order to help them promote what they're doing. And indeed, for farmers, and especially for young farmers, and especially those who are starting their business, for farmers to work together is certainly a very powerful incentive. And this is also what you are trying to enhance and to encourage. Lastly, last but not least, I really like your insistence, obviously, this is quite trivial, on the SDGs and especially on preserving the environment. Among activities like my Dutch colleague, I'm a retired diplomat, but when we retire, we become perhaps even more active than we used to be before. And we engage in a lot of very different activities. And among other things, I'm working as a diplomatic and security advisor to an impact investment fund in Africa. Now, we invest in small companies or small or medium-sized companies, which obviously have to be profitable because otherwise we would lose our money. But those companies have to be active either in the field of the environment, of in social relations, or in governance. And this is one of the criteria which determine our decision to invest or not to invest in those companies. And clearly, this goes in the sense of what you are doing. You encourage social responsibility, you encourage environmental responsibility. For all those reasons, I don't want to speak for too long, but for all those reasons, I think what you are doing, well, all the activities you've been developing, really very fascinating, and I will be very interesting to continue to follow them. So the impetus you have started is a very positive one. And I can only wish you and all the people who are working with you good luck and also a very happy new year. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Stefan. And remember, that was in Addis Ababa when we met. Yeah, I remember. I quite remember.
Indeed.
And I thank you. I keep thanking you for the effort and the support so far. CSAYN has grown tremendously. I didn't even have time to present CSAYN, but I think my colleagues who are coming, you're going to do that. We moved from 4 countries, DRC, Togo, Cameroon, and Nigeria, to 170 countries where we are right now. And we have over 70 centers of excellence, which are actually hosted at the level of universities, primary schools, high schools, and TVET. And I forgot mentioning that to Ambassador Gether, that we have the Rift Valley Institute, which is actually the TVET hub for CSAYN at the global level. So capacity building, strengthening is actually key, one of our potential areas we're focusing on, because we came to understand that we asked ourselves the question many years back, after going to school, what next? You have the certificates, you know? So we said, okay, let's take the leadership in setting up what we call centers of excellence, where we actually bring internship programs and mentorship programs within the school premises. So I'm so happy that that those areas have actually been captured in the discussion. Now I'm going to move from the diplomats directly to the UN agencies. I'm giving the floor to Liliana. Liliana is actually the president for the women for the World Association for interns and fellows at the United Nations, based in New York. So, Liliana, are you there?
Yes, can you see me? I was not able to connect on my computer, but
Yeah, I'll unmute you. You can unmute yourself.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
As I said, I was not able to join on the computer, but I was able to do it on the phone.
Perfect. Welcome.
Well, welcome and good morning, good afternoon, and good evenings to everyone. Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Climate Smart Agriculture Youth Network Global, and most importantly, the brilliant interns who stand as the vanguard of our shared vision. And thank you for gathering here, and thank you for inviting me. It is both a privilege and an honor to stand before you as the organization prepares to launch one of the groundbreaking flagships, aligning seamlessly with the ideas of the United Nations and the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Today, we're not just unveiling an initiative, but reinforcing a collective promise, which is to create a world that thrives on sustainability, equity, and innovation. I would like to start my short speech today with a quote from the 7th Secretary General of the United Nations, His Excellency Mr. Kofi Annan, who once said, and I quote, "Young people should be at the forefront of global change and innovation. Empowered, they can be the key agents for development and peace. If, however, they are left on a society's margins, all of us will be impoverished. Let us ensure that all young people have every opportunity to participate fully in the lives of their society." Why the SDGs are essential still, as everybody knows, since 2015, we've been working on the UN agenda, but the SDGs actually provide us with a powerful framework. They are more than a blueprint, they are a commitment to create a fair, just, and sustainable world. They tackle the root causes of inequality, protect our planet, and aim to ensure that no one is left behind. Imagine a world where every child has access to quality education, every family lives above the poverty line, and every community thrives in harmony with the environment. This is the world envisioned by the Sustainable Development Goals, but yet achieving this vision requires a shift, not just in strategy, but also in the spaces we create for action and collaboration. Today, I want to highlight the evolution from SDGs Dialogue to SDGs Corners and SDGs Pavilions, just as your subject today, the topic that you choose for this meeting, which is, in my opinion, it's a dynamic hubs and fosters innovations, collaboration, and measurable impact. Together, I would like to explore the SDGs, the fact that they are very essential, and the showcase innovative approaches, and share some best practices to advance the transformative agenda. As mentioned, the SDGs unite the global community under a shared vision, providing a roadmap to tackle challenges like poverty, inequality, and climate change. But they ensure also that no nation or individual works in isolation. Also, I think SDGs are very much interconnected, reinforcing the idea that sustainable development requires holistic solutions. For instance, combating climate change, SDG 13, directly impacts food security, SDG number 2, and clean water access, SDG number 6. In terms of addressing global inequalities, the SDGs focus on those most at the risk, ensuring that no one is left behind, as I mentioned. They prioritize marginalized populations, bridging gaps in wealth, health, and education. As our planet faces unprecedented environmental challenges, the SDGs offer actionable solutions for sustainable living. Protecting biodiversity, SDG 15, and mitigating climate change, SDG 13, are essential for the future generations. Another important role that I want to mention is the SDGs have in catalyzing economic growth and innovation. The goals promote clean energy, as we know, SDG 7, industry innovation, SDG 9, and also sustainable consumption, SDG 12, fostering job creation and market expansion in green sectors. But above all, I do think that I need to encourage the global solidarity, which is SDG number 17, the partnerships for the goals, which are emphasizing the global challenges demands shared by solutions. Developing nations are urged to support developing countries through technologies, resources, and capacity building. As we all see and understand, the SDGs require more than just a conversation, more or less, that we have, and we have been participating in so many at the UN and outside the UN. They demand commitment. And we must foster global partnerships that transcend borders and sectors, embrace innovation to engage, educate, and inspire communities, and also empower the next generation to lead a change for sustainable development. Talking about the next generation, the way I start my speech today, I'd like to expand on the role of the youth and innovation, since your organization deals with a lot of interns from around the world, just like WAFUNIF, which we are the Alumni Association for the Interns and Fellows at the UN. Youth are catalysts of change, and we all know that. The world's youth, comprising nearly 60% of the global population, are not only the beneficiaries of the SDGs, but also the drivers of their success. Young people, as we all know, bring fresh perspectives, energy, and a sense of urgency, and they are crucial for tackling global changes. Their active participation ensures that SDGs remain relevant, forward-looking, and inclusive. As you know, for example, the Greta Thunberg and millions of young climate activists have amplified global awareness and action on climate change, which is SDG 13. In terms of harnessing innovation for impact, youth are always, most of the time, are at the forefront of innovation, embracing technology, as I said, creativity, and entrepreneurships to address complex problems. For example, all these apps that we're using today and platforms which are developed by young entrepreneurs help track the SDGs progress or promote also sustainable behaviors like waste reduction. Through hackathons, incubators, and youth-led initiatives, they are creating solutions for clean energy, affordable education, and healthcare access. Now, talking about the pavilions and the youth engagement in SDGs pavilions, they provide a platform for the youth to showcase their innovations, collaborations with the global leaders, and scale their ideas. They are empowered in many ways to all these young innovators to lead the interactive workshops, to present prototypes, engage with stakeholders, and also transform ideas into actionable projects. For example, at events like the UN Youth Climate Summit, young innovators have demonstrated how technology and grassroots action can drive progress towards sustainable urban futures. Talking about bridging the knowledge gap, as of today, many young people still lack access to resources or platforms to contribute to the SDGs meaningfully, such as innovations bridges this gap by making information tools and network accessible. For example, digital learning platform powered by, as we all know, the AI, make SDGs education accessible in understand regions, empowering youth with knowledge and skills to act. Inspiring collective action. I think we all should be an inspiration for all the young generation. As we all know, youth use all these digital platforms and social media to mobilize global audience, to foster collective action or pressing issues. For example, the global youth-led campaigns such as the Fridays for Future have inspired millions to advocate for urgent climate action. How can we in the future proofreading the SDGs? I think by involving youth today, we're investing in a generation that will lead the SDGs agenda tomorrow. Their ability to adapt to emerging technologies, anticipate future challenges, and innovative ensures the longevity of relevance of the SDGs. Since we are talking about the shift from SDGs dialogue to corners to SDGs pavilions, what are the SDGs pavilions? They are, in my opinion, they are SDGs. They are dynamic hubs for actions and collaborations. And all these SDGs pavilions are more than a physical space. They are ecosystems of innovation, education, and partnership designed in many ways to accelerate progress towards sustainable development goals. They symbolize the shift from dialogue to action, creating immersive environments where global and local stakeholders come together to transform aspirations to tangible results. What is the vision of the SDG pavilions? In my opinion, bringing SDGs to life, we need to design these pavilions to make the SDGs accessible and relatable, to showcasing real-world solutions and stories of impact. We need to engage stakeholders across different sectors. Governments, private enterprises, civil society, academia, and youth are also invited to participate, ensuring diverse perspective and expertise. And we have to be a catalyst for partnerships. These spaces fosters connections. They enable different partnerships, transcend borders and sectors. For example, a business might discover opportunities to collaborate with NGOs and on water conservations, for example, different projects and underserved areas, which is SDGs 6. A few of the key features of the SDGs pavilions, immersive exhibits, user virtual reality, VR, augmented reality, the AR, and interactive displays to immerse visitors in SDGs-related changes and solutions. For example, a VR experience allowing users to explore the effects of rising sea levels on coastal communities. Different workshops and trainings. All these pavilions can host hands-on sessions to educate stakeholders and implementing SDGs solutions in their communities. For example, training sessions on circular economy principles for business to align with SDGs 12, in this case, the responsible consumption and production. In terms of showcasing innovation, highlighting the cutting-edge technologies and practices that address global challenges. For example, solar power water purification system that advanced the SDG 6, which is the clean water and sanitation. As I said, all these pavilions can provide a platform, basically, for grassroots organizations to share their stories and also innovations. As we know, at the UN, there are many events on indigenous communities, which are showcasing sustainable agricultural practices for achieving the SDG 2, in this case, zero hunger. And as I mentioned, all these can be spaces for dialogue and collaboration, which facilitates a discussion, panel events, and brainstorm sessions, allow stakeholders to exchange ideas and forge partnerships. Now, the impact that these pavilions can have is an inspiring action that can be scaling to best practices, can drive accountability and global solidarity. All this interconnectedness of humanitarian changes, promoting utility and collective responsibility, just like it happened in Dubai, the Expo 2020, or African Union's pavilions on SDGs. There are a few best practices that I think in SDGs pavilion design in terms of sustainability as a core principle, localized approaches, and digital extensions. What's in the future? I will say that SDGs pavilions have the potential to become permanent features in major cities, universities, and also global hubs. These spaces can serve as ongoing learning centers and incubator for SDGs-focused projects, offering continuous engagement by hosting year-round events from hackathons to cultural festivities, centered on sustainable development. They can be as research and innovative labs, dedicated spaces for scientists, engineers, entrepreneurs, collaborators, or groundbreaking solutions. And also policy development forums, offering a platform for policymakers to engage with diverse stakeholders and to create SDGs-aligned policies. In terms of a call to action, to round out my speech, building the SDGs Pavilion movement, it's important to realize that the full potential of the SDGs Pavilions, we must invest in infrastructure to support the development of both physical and virtual pavilions globally, to empower communities, to ensure pavilions amplify local voices and solutions while connecting them to a global network, and also foster cross-sectoral collaboration, to encourage partnerships across sectors to maximize resources and expertise. SDGs Pavilions represent the evolution of how we engage with the Sustainable Development Goals. They are not just venues, as I mentioned, they are engines of transformation, inspiring action, sparking innovation, and uniting stakeholders in the shared mission of achieving a better and more sustainable future for all. Ladies and gentlemen, the sustainable goals, as you can see, are not just a luxury or an abstract ideal. They are a necessity. They provide us with a clear vision and a practical framework to address the challenges of our era and to create a future that is fair, equitable, and sustainable. And let us embrace the SDGs, not just goals, but our shared responsibility. Let us boldly collaborate deeply and commit fully to this transformative agenda, and together we can turn aspirations into achievements and ensure that no one is left behind. Thank you, and let's move forward with determination to make the SDGs reality for all. And congratulations for putting this event together.
Yeah, I want to inform us here that it's equally on YouTube. So I think my colleague is going to put the YouTube link so that people can equally view you. Yeah, thank you very much, Liliana. We are so happy.
Thank you.
We are so happy because the main idea is to see how women are taking leadership. Me, I'm one of those that want to advocate for women leadership. I feel very, very honored seeing you. I mean, I can count on us, your GCSAYN, to be part of your association full time. Now we have a program we call Women in Agriculture of Sustainable Africa. You know, we have a lot of interns here. We have about 65 interns, as I mentioned the other day on the call. So I don't know. Hawa, are you here? Hawa, are you here? Hawa?
Can you hear me?
Yes, it's good. Hawa, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. So I give the floor now to my sister, my Eba sister, Hawa. She worked for DGC all her life. She's now retired, but she's not tired. So Hawa, please, you have the floor to give your key remarks.
Sure. Thank you, everybody. Ultimately, I should say the ultimate multitasker. I'm all over the place at 8 o'clock in the morning in New York. Greetings, everybody. Thumbs up if you're awake. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yes. Hi, everybody. I'm Hawa Telokamara Diallo, beaming in from New York in Westchester, by route of Freetown, Sierra Leone. I'm so excited to be here. Divine is one of my most precious people that keeps me on my toes all the time. So really a big hug and love to all the distinguished guests, the colleagues, and the inspiring young people who are serving as interns. It's really an honor for me to join you in this really pivotal event as we reflect on the achievements and future directions in realizing the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. This gathering is a testament to the unwavering commitment of young people like you and your communities in creating a sustainable future, particularly on the continent in Africa, where I proudly hail from, a continent of immense potential and opportunity. So as we celebrate progress that's been made, it's essential for us to acknowledge the remarkable strides young people in Africa have taken to drive innovation, tackle climate changes, promote sustainable practices. Through initiatives in climate smart agriculture, renewable energy, grassroots advocacy, youth across the continent have not only contributed to food security and environmental sustainability, but have also transformed their communities and inspired other people like me and you to act. These successes underline a profound truth. Africa's youth are not just leaders of tomorrow. We say this all the time, but we have to keep on saying it. They are leaders of today. However, as we approach the 2030, we must ensure these efforts are amplified and institutionalized to create lasting impact. So moving forward, what are we going to do? I've heard some great points already. Some of them I'm going to say similar to what's been said, but like I said, we have to keep on saying it and driving it into our heads. One, invest in scalable solutions. The innovations emerging from young people all around the world must move beyond pilot projects. Governments, private sector, international organizations must invest in scaling successful initiatives to ensure that they reach more communities and drive systematic change. 2, empower communities. This is so dear to me, through climate smart practices. Climate smart agriculture has already demonstrated its potential to address food security and resilience. Expanding access to training, tools, resources will empower more young farmers to adopt sustainable practices, creating ripple effects throughout rural communities. 3, mainstream youth leadership. It's imperative that young people are not only participants, but decision makers on that table in shaping policies and programs. Their voices and perspective must inform global local agenda to ensure inclusivity and relevance. 4, strengthening partnership. Divine, this is something you do so well. Collaboration remains a cornerstone of progress. By uniting governments, organizations, young people, their networks, we can create ecosystems where innovation and sustainability thrive. 5, amplify these success stories, like what we're demonstrating and witnessing today on this channel. Sharing achievements of Africa's youth on platforms like this dialogue and the SDG Pavilion. It's crucial for inspiration and replication. Highlighting their contribution, because there are so many that go unseen, that are invisible, builds momentum and encourages others to join the movement towards a sustainable future. So now, as we stand here today, because the stakes have never been higher, climate change threatens to unravel decades of hard-won progress, putting Agenda 2030 really at our doorsteps, but not ushering it in. It's in jeopardy. Among the most at risk are some of the goals that you've talked about already: SDG 2, hunger; 13, climate action; 15, life on land. My favorite one is gender equality. This is not a challenge for the distant future. The crisis unfolding is unfolding before us now. So as we celebrate past achievements and look forward to the road ahead, we must remain steadfast in recognizing urgency in all of our missions. Achieving the SDGs is more than a set of targets. It's about shaping a world where every individual can thrive, where no one, as we like to say, is left behind, and where our planet is safeguarded for future generations. What makes me warm at heart is that movements like GCSAYN, my brother Divine, are redefining this narrative by equipping young people and their communities with knowledge, tools, platforms that they need to empower all of us to drive transformative change. These efforts not only address food security and climate resilience, but the whole host of SDGs. I commend the Climate Smart Agriculture Youth Network Global for its innovative approach, and also all the team that's working on it, and congratulate them in this really milestone time. From the SDG Summit Dialogues, the SDG Corners, to the creation of the SDG Pavilions, they are leading the way toward a more sustainable and equitable future for all. So to the youth, you're listening, right?
Yes.
Listening?
Yes.
Okay. You are the heartbeat of this mission. Your passion, your resilience, your creativity are shaping the world in ways that will be remembered for years to come. So we here at IB Tilakamara Foundation stand with you. We are inspired by your efforts and committed to supporting your journey. So let's leave here today, not just with smiles and feeling happy, but with a renewed sense of purpose and determination. Together, we can build a world that reflects the ideals of the 2030 Agenda, a world that is sustainable, equitable, and inclusive. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, my brother Divine. I look forward to that transformative ideas, actions that will emerge from today's dialogue. La lucha continua.
Thank you very much, Hawa. Thank you very much indeed. I want to say that Hawa has been so supportive right back in 2012, 2015, and we are right now. I mean, I forgot mentioning that CSAYN is 10 years now. CSAYN is 10 years, the SDG 10 years, the Global Alliance Climate Smart Agriculture 10 years. So really, it's 10. We have to really thank God for that. Now, I think one of the things I want to mention here very, very strongly is that GCSAYN didn't just come from the air, from space. You know, there are actually people that were engines of change, mobilizing, strategizing, and ensuring that Divine becomes a successful young man. And the person that's going to speak right now, Mama Nina Mehov, she's a she's an educationalist. She's 82 years old. She decided to leave from her bed from rest to come and join us here. So Mama Nina, are you right there? Mama Nina, are you there? Yes.
There I am.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy to be here. And I see people I know. I'm looking at Julie. I haven't seen her in 10, 15 years. So it's beautiful. Yes, it's wonderful. And I love who was speaking before. So should I go ahead and speak?
Yeah, Mama, you have the floor. You have the floor.
Okay, I'm glad to do this. I was a person that ran an organization and still does, Children of the Earth. For over 30 years, it's an NGO at the UN, and it targets young people who believe in a new leadership, who understand they should no longer imitate what has been the past and begin to understand that they take responsibility for the future. And the future is from global to local and not particularly local to global. We have to combine everybody as one humanity. It is so important. So at the UN right now, I'm working with a working group. It's called the Committee on Spiritual Values and Global Concerns. Yes. And with Ambassador Chowdhury, we have a spectacular project. It's called Global Oneness Day. The idea is if we create a day that represents how we come together, that we can start putting in programs that exemplify this. And if you're very smart, you see global is G, oneness is O, D is day. So you have God. Yes. So it's a global oneness day, and God is supporting us in this process for sure. Okay. And so I want to say that we need to put words into action because so many words need to be into action. And the young people are the engine that make things happen. And we have to really support them in that process. You know, Jeffrey Sachs from the UN, who speaks on CNN and all the different things, he said education is the #1 important thing because it builds human capital. And human capital does economic growth. Very important. You know, we have to lift up the human being and bring them together as one. So I have several projects I quickly tell you about. We have an institute adjacent to Auschwitz. Maybe some of you do not know Auschwitz, but it is a facility that has been kept by the most horrific experiences humanity has ever had. We go, we walk there, there are gas chambers, there are hanging rooms. It's a terrible, terrible, oppressive place. And across the street from that, we've acquired 3 buildings, and we are doing social innovation hubs for youth. The idea is if that was the worst, what is the best? Let's put it together and make the difference and bring it forward. Youth can transform the horrors of the world into the hopes of the future. I am sure, I know this, and it is coming. Another project I was involved in, I just quickly tell you 2 or 3, is Kenya. I was brought to Kenya because they do a name school after me, and that was a great honor. But when I went to the school, I saw that the young people, they were impoverished. They didn't have food or clothes. How are they going to learn all this other stuff? Yes. So now I'm honored, and I gave a talk, and we brought computers and teddy bears and everything. But I've gone back to the United States, identified someone who has a whole warehouse of clothes, and I'm working on shipping these clothes to Kenya. We have to raise the money. Money is always the issue, but if we can ship these clothes, we have a whole warehouse to dress these children and other children in many of the cities. It's a company that's clothing down, and so we have this opportunity. Another experience project that we're doing is in Romania, and I think Sammy is here online somewhere, Jagels, and we will be doing a project of leadership training for youth in the university and out, and it's also in my name, which is such a great honor. You know, the best thing is that I've worked all my life in this work, and all of a sudden I'm getting recognition that the work has meaning. You know, I just followed what my heart told me, but now I see. Now, what I'm really concerned about is that we fragmentize things. Even at the UN, the countries represent their own initiatives and what they need versus integrating and really collaborating. And there is a document that has come out, the Unitive Narrative, which is an amazing platform. Do you want me to share it, or you're going to share it?
I'm gonna share.
Okay.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do, because of time, I'm gonna send to their email to have everybody's
Okay,
email.
that's wonderful. That,
Yeah.
but what it says is the SDGs, we really, you know, from the millennial goals, I've been around a long time, so I've seen it. We've gone into silos, and they're wonderful silos, and it's really brought solutions to the table. But now we must integrate. We must find ways to understand we are interdependent, we are interconnected, and we belong to a global family called humankind. And we must see ourselves as one humanity. So I would like to close very easily, shortly. If everybody remembers, you all breathe, you breathe air. So if every time you're conscious, you can breathe in world and breathe out peace. You are furthering world peace in the world. It's a very simple exercise. It calms your own system, and it gives to the world an idea that needs to grow. So in closing, I would like to say, please follow your heart and use your mind as a tool, and we will have a better world for everyone. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you, and bless.
Thank you very much, Mama. Thank you very much indeed. I mean, I'm so delighted. Very soon I'm coming to visit you. Very soon I'm coming to see you in person. I'm so happy. Thanks for the blessing, for the prayers you've always been for us. And I thank you for everything. And you have our support. And we'll be praying that you live longer and longer, more blessings. Yeah. So I move now to Zendas. Zendas, are you on the call? Zendas, are you on the call?
Yes.
Perfect. You have the floor, my friend.
Sorry to leave my camera out, but the internet is a little bit disastrous, even in the Netherlands. But welcome. Thank you, Divine. It's amazing to see all these people here, being brought down by your energy that you've started. 10 years is a really a milestone decade, which is amazing. Me from the Netherlands, and I've loved to have heard Ambassador Verburg to talk. I've been privileged to work with her and start what I'm doing now, actually, as in taking care.
Just this person speaking to unmute. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. This is better, yeah. So I've been privileged to work with Ambassador Verburg when she was a minister in the Netherlands. To start what I do now is unlock the potential of a new generation, which is, I think, more than ever key. And this is what you've been doing on the space of climate-related challenges in agriculture and the SDGs. Looking at the framework or the metaphor of a pavilion, I think it's resonating what's needed in the world of agriculture. The future of ag now is getting into action. I think we've convinced a lot of people that climate smart agriculture is needed to make sure that we feed the world. But now we need to start acting in how to create actionable things for a new generation. My conviction is with Eye for Nature that the answers are already there, with nature providing us with so much solutions already. And from the western part of the world, I think we've been grown away from nature and its knowledge. So I think we could tap into that already. And I think in nature, it's very, very logic that we include all generation and all potential. And that's what I think where GCSAYN is working on and doing very well. And I'm very, very glad that we've started the initiative with other colleagues of you, Define, to work on the European connection in everything we do. So starting up the European hub from the Netherlands, here I am, is that we want to share the potential that we've built in Europe, but especially gain the potential. I think that's more than ever needed from different continents, and looking with particular interest to the African country. Because I think this is my first point. We need to invest in social skills, in talent, in the human capital agenda, because literally there's a lot of money going into innovation, which is needed, but making sure a new generation is able to take on the skills, the knowledge for climate smart farming, and to eventually give food for everyone, healthy food, sustainable food for everyone is needed. And the amount of money that's going into this is so far below the amount for technical innovation, etc. And within the SDG space, within the pavilion, I think this is becoming to the surface because there's action going and people could see we need to invest in this potential new generation. My second point is I think we are in the time that there's a paradigm shift going. So there where I think the solutions were from the past going into a lot of production raising agriculture for the short term with low cost is showing that it's not the solution for the long term. So regenerate what we are doing in general within agriculture is needed, which means we need to get close to nature again, making sure that nature offers us a harvest and a future for everything. Leadership, that's my third point, I think is key. Define, like you're showing for years, and with you, the GCSAYN network a lot, and we're very proud to be partnering in this to show the leadership of young people. And this is the admiration and also the advice I would give all young people is that you have the power within. Don't start copying what you think the rest of the world needs, but start sharing and giving yourself the voice, make your voice heard of what you think is necessary. Because then you make the connection. And with the European hub, we also want to facilitate, if there's a question, we connect networks and we can give you answers, I think, to every question and make sure that the tools that are available, we can work that. My last point is, GCSAYN and Eye for Nature both are connected in the Next Generation Ag Impact Network engine, which also strives to make the connection to companies. I think with member states, with UN institutions, I think we're doing a great job on a global policy level to make sure we have frameworks where we can move and take action. But I think we need companies to be convinced and be moved into the same space where the young people are aligning on a shared vision of how sustainable farming and food production looks, to unite value chains, which I've heard former speakers say as well, but take into action. Because if we work within these frameworks of companies, I think we can go a long way. And I think there would be a great support of companies, which I will be looking for with GCSAYN, to support young people to get into agriculture, get into the space, and move together towards sustainable and healthy food production. So looking forward to be taking next steps. We are literally building the European hub at this moment. I know Divine has to be patient for progress to come, but I think if you're patient, there's a lot of things to harvest as well. So looking forward to exchange within mentorship programs, within corporations, virtually or physically. But we are looking forward to receive you at the European Hub and receive your question or your physical visit. But congratulations. Let's make sure we form the virtual pavilion together 365 days a year. Thank you very much, Divine.
Yes. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much, Sanders, for everything, for the endless support. I mean, I remember many years when we met, you said, okay, you want to set up the European hub. So I'm waiting. I'm just waiting the day is going to be launched before I come to the Netherlands. And fortunately for us, we have the ambassador right there. I know she's going to put hands in deck to make things happen because she started things already. She tells us already what she's been doing. So I think this is a good opportunity for you to connect and connect with her and keep moving. So with this, I'm going to give the floor to Valencia. Valencia, are you there?
Hello, Divine. How are you?
Yeah, perfect. Valencia is actually one of our board members of GCSAYN. She's calling from Greece. So Valencia, you have the floor, please.
Thank you very much. Cheers from Greece. I'm really happy to be part of, let me see if I can have also the speakers in the gallery. Oh, there we go. Now I can see everybody. So it's really a pleasure being part of this meeting. It really a pleasure being part of this great effort. Talking about SDGs, sometimes it's a little bit tricky because everything that I had to say has already been said. And it seems that everybody is well aware about everything. And we are here to, hello, Dominique. How are you, Domenico? Yes, we're doing a great job. Nonetheless, I would like to share a little bit my experience. This is going to be just I'm going to present something that is going to be related with ecotourism, because part of my activities is also dealing with how ecotourism actually can help the rural areas. So the money can go to the people in need. And I think this is what it's all about this effort here, to help people that they are in great need, share our experience, share our knowledge, and then hopefully come up with the same outcome, that they're better off with their lives. Okay, so we're having our time here doing this, sharing our experience, and hopefully this is not going to be just only words, but also implementing projects. So I'm really happy. Recently, not started yet, but I've been involved in a project in Africa, another project in EU. It's doing very well. The project in EU is dealing with food, feed for food. So everything is related with people in need. So I'm going to share a little bit of my experience. I'm going to try, if that's okay, Divine, can I share? Is it allowed? Yes. Can I have a request sent? I can share my screen. I'm not going to take hopefully more than 5 minutes.
Okay.
Because this is a time frame here. We are all just want to share our experience. Thank you very much, Divine. Okay. So let's see. This is me. Let me see. Can you all see my screen?
Yeah, can you enlarge it a little bit, PowerPoint format?
Okay.
Yeah.
Could you please tell me if there's an animation? If not, then it's fine.
Yes, okay.
Is it moving?
No.
No. Okay, then I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna go from this. So this is me coming from Greece. Yes, I'm the director of the ecotourism sector of the UNESCO Share Connect, a very good team that is getting so many good efforts for international projects. Unfortunately, you can see here in this photo, I'm the only woman, but somebody talked about the SDGs, so I was very happy for 2030. So I was very happy to be invited as one of the experts, because I'm also part of the Mediterranean experts of climate and environmental change, to consult with me and share my experience for 2030. But what I really have to say here, this has been in 2019, right before COVID. 2030 is right next tomorrow. So I think we should have more long-term plans in order to actually feel that we're heading somewhere and then monitor those plans. So yeah, I'm also part of the International Council of World Tourism Forum, but also right here, I am at the board of directors here with Divine. I don't know how it happens and how it started, Divine, how we got introduced and we shared that in knowledge. But since then, I think it was 2018, it continued for that many years, doing some online meetings. And here's Greece, that's where Cameroon is. And thank God to people like Divine. They're connecting people and they are putting their volunteer efforts to really have this beautiful outcome to help people. But we are also doing these parts also here at the Balkan area. And right here, you know, we're having wars is going on worldwide, even in Ukraine, but we're trying to collaborate and assist with proper transplant and actions like this. So it comes up to the SDGs. We do know that tourism is a powerful tool, and undoubtedly it brings a lot of money. So when it comes to SDGs, we're all thinking about all these 17 goals that we're trying to actually reach. When we are trying to divide those goals, when we have ecotourism, when we have the ecosystem in our mind, then it really comes to that. 4 of them, that is the base, is on the environment. Then we structure the society, and then we build the economy. 17 is the one that it really glues everything together. But when we're talking about ecotourism, we're referring to these 3 main pillars, that is dealing with the environment, the locals, and the tourism that they're going and visiting those sites. So we have to talk about responsible travel, responsible ways to go and visit all those beautiful ecosystems. Does it happen? I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't. So yes, it connects people worldwide in a friendly way. When we want to go, if I want to go to Africa, and if I want to go to India, tomorrow I'm leaving, I'm going to go and visit in another country and presenting in an international conference. I'm going to go there not only for presenting, but also for experiencing, for everything that is the culture, the environment, the spiritual comfort, everything that it connects. These are photos from Greece, of course, okay, if that's okay. So relaxation is part of that. Ecosystems, they're very vulnerable. Africa has many vulnerable ecosystems. Changing land use alterations and introducing agriculture is one of the must things that we have to do it sustainably. Yes? Okay.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Well, it seems that it's running, but the money should get to the people. So when it comes really to sustainable development goals, when we're talking about environment, then it really tops up everything. And this is the money that it tops up everything. And then maybe our decisions are not as wise as we should have been doing. So this is what we really need to do about this networking, educating people, informing them about how to do it properly. And part of this is using nature-based solutions. This is what FAO is introducing for the agricultural lands. So climate change, agricultural areas.
We have the emails of our colleagues, so we're gonna send it to you. We're gonna send it to we're gonna send it. We're gonna give you the address so that I can send it to them. That would be great. Because of time.
So because of time,
yeah,
I'm really happy to be part of this networking. That was about what I really wanted to say. It's good, but hopefully it's not going to be only talks.
Yeah.
But this networking with Divine and all the people that they're collaborating and assisting with their time and their volunteer effort, it's going to help hopefully on the ground and get people educated for sustainable environment.
Thank you so much, Valencia. You've always been there. Thank you for all the great job. Thanks for the support. and we shall really make sure that ecotourism comes at the apex of our agenda as far as
It's
the
not
pavilions
just
are concerned.
ecotourism. It's not just ecotourism. It's about the sustainable environment. But
All right.
ecotourism can be used as a tool to educate.
All right. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks very much. Now I'm going to give the floor to my very good brother, Daria. Are you there?
I am right here.
Perfect. So you have the floor, man. Since you're my brother, I'll not give you more than 5 minutes. I will stop you up.
Thanks for your
Yes.
generosity.
Over to you.
Thank you so much, Divine. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Welcome, ambassadors, leaders, interns, entrepreneurs, policymakers, everybody right here in this room. I want to just share very quickly a story. I was once upon a time a young man, you know, maybe not anymore, but I remember being challenged by everything, including hey, you don't have a PhD, you don't belong here, you're not, you know, you are just one person, what are you going to do? I remember working in Mozambique in a small village in healthcare setting. I'm a biomedical engineer, and I remember working with the community to drive public health efforts, working on multiple projects, all of that. But in the end, 5 years later, you know, when the goals were officially instituted by the UN, and I was going to this event. It was filled with young people, and one thing I found extremely interesting is we don't have anything to lose. We are anyway losing our planet if we don't act upon it. So we don't have much to lose than that. There is no reason for us not to step up and actually just start building our ventures, our projects, or collaborating with literally the amazing hundreds of people, thousands of people like Divine who bring them together. So, you know, I'm going to keep it short. I'm not even going to use my 5 minutes because I think everything that was amazing, all the good things have already been said by much more smarter people than I am. I would just end literally in a minute by saying that one of the key things all of us here, especially young people here, can do is surround yourself with smarter than yourself people in events like this. Literally show up, listen up, and start acting upon it, because we have nothing to lose. People like us will literally, if you're saying you are a failure, you don't have much money, you don't have much experience, great. What else can you actually, how much low can you go from that? It's a perfect setup to build whatever we need to. It's a perfect setup to build any ventures that you think are going to contribute to the goals. And you know, we have the 2030 agenda, but it's not just 2030. It's the planet is going to go on forever, and we hope we can build a much equitable, a much more sustainable future for ourselves, for all our friends. And I'm just very happy to, you know, be a part of a community like this. Thank you so much, Divine. Good luck, everyone, and let's build some amazing ventures.
Thank you very much, my friend. You are the best. That's why I like giving you the floor each time I meet you. So, Nina from Nina Harrington, are you here?
Hi, yes.
Hey, my best friend is around. Nina, you have the floor.
Okay, great. I'm gonna pull up my slides.
Can you be a bit audible? You are a bit low. Can you be audible?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but a little bit. Can you try a little bit more?
Let me see my audio settings. Volume. How about that?
Yeah, it's better, far better.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just pull up my slides here. Do I still have about 5 minutes?
Yeah, you have 5 minutes. Yeah, you have 5 minutes.
Thank you. I will try to keep it to 5 minutes. As you know, Divine, we have a lot that we can
I know.
So hello everyone, and thank you so much, Divine, for the invitation to be here. My name is Nina Hamilton. I am the Director of International and Leadership Programs at the North American Association for Environmental Education. We are the Secretariat of the Global Environmental Education Partnership, and I'm gonna spend the next 5 minutes or so talking about that. But before I do that, I do want to congratulate all of the interns, all of the work that Divine you're doing and your whole organization. As we're seeing here, it is all essential work, and it's essential that we're talking to each other, we're having dialogues, we're having these bigger platforms where we are collaborating. So congratulations and thank you to the interns, Divine, and everyone here who's playing an important role in all of this work. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to quickly highlight the importance of environmental education for achieving the SDGs. I think this has been sprinkled throughout, the remarks today, but this is what we do. We are focused on environmental education, and it really, really is pivotal to achieving the SDGs. And I'll also share just a couple of our resources and initiatives that we invite you all to engage with. And we hope that this will help your work as well, no matter what field you are in. So really quickly, the Global Environmental Education Partnership, we are a learning network that is designed to build capacity for environmental education around the world, all with the goal of creating a more just and sustainable future. So this isn't just about the environment, it's about sustainability, it's about justice, it's about equity as well. And so everything that we do is under this umbrella of building global capacity for environmental education and sustainability. As I just mentioned, as I'm sure all of you are aware, environmental education plays a really, really crucial role in achieving the SDGs, for fostering awareness, skills, attitudes, and behaviors that are all essential for achieving sustainable development. So environmental education really, really is about more than just knowledge. It's not just about spreading awareness, it's about helping people and community build the knowledge, skills, and dispositions that they need to take positive action and to be more engaged in civic life, ultimately to make those decisions for sustainable development. And we're not just talking about students in schools, we're talking about adults. We say cradle to gray, so from babies to, you know, our most senior citizens, as well as in schools, but also in communities, in your house, all, you know, really for anyone and anywhere. So environmental education, a couple ways that environmental education is key to achieving the SDGs. First of all, EE, or environmental education, really emphasizes the interconnectedness of all of these issues. I saw in our last speaker, you know, she was making all these connections between the SDGs, and environmental education is just about that. It's all about emphasizing that interconnectedness, because today's challenges are complex, as we all know, so we need to acknowledge those connections. EE is also important for equipping people with skills for green careers in areas like sustainable agriculture, renewable energy, other green sectors, and also just day-to-day decisions of living a sustainable lifestyle. EE can also help promote inclusivity by engaging everyone. We talk about community engagement, environmental education. So this is essential for engaging everyone, women, children, youth, indigenous communities, everyone. And it also encourages global citizenship, a sense of this global responsibility that we are part of this together, that helps to encourage collaboration. And I think most importantly, it fosters this sense of agency and responsibility to take action. It helps people realize they can make a difference. There are actions that they can take, big or small. So these are some of the key ways that the EE is connected to all of the SDGs, not just the environmental ones. So this is all that we do. We are a backbone and champion for environmental education around the world. We are designed as a network of networks. We really do find this critical, that we are working together, we are talking, we are learning from each other, we are taking advantage, leveraging all of our expertise and skills and networks. So we've got a lot of great partnerships that we work with. And we are also recognizing that we have to make connections at different scales. So from global to local and regional as well. So we're exploring developing these regional networks around the world. We're also recognizing the next generation of leadership in environmental education. These young leaders and the interns here today and other youth that are here today, you are essential to a sustainable future. You all will be paving the way to this. So we have a couple initiatives. EE 30 Under 30 recognizes 30 young leaders, 30 leaders under the age of 30 each year who are working across the SDGs. They're using environmental education, really giving them a boost that they need to stay on this track and to stay in the sustainable development field. Here's just our class of 2024. And we also have our Youth Innovation Challenge, which is recognizing innovation in this space. And innovation is key to bringing together new ideas. And the youth out there, young leaders, have incredible ideas. So this challenge is designed to recognize that. We have a number of resources. I'm going to highlight just a couple here. We host workshops and virtual events throughout the year. I'm going to highlight one that we have tomorrow, actually, at the end of this. And most importantly, most connected to the SDGs, we have a case study collection on effective practice in environmental education around the world. These are all on our website. They're free to download. We have 25 cases currently, and we're always seeking ideas for additional cases. On our website, you can search for them by SDG, and you can see here just a couple examples of how these spread across. One case will spread across so many SDGs and emphasizing the interconnectedness there. We also have an ebook that helps you explore how you can use these case studies to deepen your professional development, to help train other educators or other professionals. So I really encourage you to take a look. It includes a chapter on the power of case studies, why case studies are such a valuable learning tool. And then if you want to learn more about what we've been up to over the last 10 years, we are celebrating 10 years this year. Here's a QR code with our 10-year report. And all of our resources are on our website. I only got into just a couple of them, so I really encourage you to take a look at our website and also stay connected with us. One other resource I want to highlight is our discussion guide on strengthening EE in your country. So this guide is designed to help you facilitate essential conversations to identify your strengths and gaps in your country around environmental education to help you build better capacity, better institutions that are at the country level. And we are hosting a webinar tomorrow focused on just that. So I'll put the link in the chat after this, but we really do encourage you to join us. We'll go through the discussion guide and have a couple other speakers as well about different aspects of building capacity for environmental education in your country. And with that, I don't know, hopefully I'm under 5 minutes, but I just want to thank you again.
Yeah,
and
good,
here's
good,
another
good.
QR code for staying connected with us. Thanks so much, Divine, for having us.
Thank you very much, Dina. Thank you very much. I've actually typed my email there for colleagues who have questions. We're gonna capture all the questions and then respond to you guys on email because of time. So with this, I don't know if my very good friend is ready. Mama Eugenia, are you there? Mama Eugenia.
Right here.
Oh, perfect. Actually, let me give a little bit background about Mama Eugenia. Mama Eugenia met me in person in Cameroon 2008, 2007 or 2009 when I was still trying to be a man. What do I mean? I was struggling. I just came back from Malaysia with one trouser and one pair of shoes and a red shirt that was turning white almost. She saw me and said, "Oh, my son, come, tell me what is your vision." I was just there advocating for the MDGs then. And she was one of those that encouraged me actually in the northwest region of Cameroon. And when she encouraged me, she told me, "No, don't worry, you have my support. Don't worry, you have my support, my son. I will support you." And that's how she took over me. I couldn't even realize it. Now, she's actually, she's a person that she initiated the special needs education, inclusive education in Cameroon. And the government has recognized her work. And she's now going through from primary school right up to all university level. So she's a champion. And I told her, even though she's not so sound, I told her, please just come and join this call. You're going to meet amazing people. So Mom, you have the floor. Please, over to you.
All right, thanks everyone. I greatly apologize for not being able to use my camera. So anyway, there's not so much to dwell on. So much has been said about the SDGs. So where I'm picking up from, which I expect all of us picking up from, is we have all been talking on these SDGs. The question we must continue to ask is, to what extent are the measures being taken by various states, civil society, private sector, international organizations, actually ensuring effective inclusivity of the SDGs within the context of holistic operations across sectors? Because as we have been talking, so many of us are doing so many things, but this is a heartbeat. I would not like to dwell on the whole question, but I would like to take on the sub part, what we are doing in Cameroon. And we are talking about the pathway to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. The part we are going to talk about is how Cameroon is doing it, how we at SDG have been doing it since 2002. Because we know, talking about youth, early intervention is the key. We had to look at the inclusive way of starting from the foundation to make sure that we are bringing up children who are responsible and learn how to be effectively participating. So in this regard, we had to come up with an alternative professional training approach that is more innovative, contemporary, holistic, inclusive, yet low cost in rendering practical inclusive solutions to cross-sectors issues that are hindering effective and quality inclusivity. On the part, our take from the 17 SDGs goal is this. Listing is that success and practical attainment realities relies on our abilities to recognize the fact that the SDGs are interconnected, as earlier speakers have said, emphasizing that progress in one area contributes to achieving the others, ensuring no one is left behind. This is actually the reason we look at education, because we feel education and we strongly believe education is a strong catalyst towards attaining most of these goals. So in this regard, fostering inclusive education in Cameroon, a cross-sector approach is what we look into. With all protocol duly observed, therefore, I would like to present to you the Cameroon Inclusive Special Education Teacher Training and Empowerment Program, an initiative that demonstrates how a focused effort on inclusive education can act as a catalyst for the broader realization of the Sustainable Development Goals, thus bringing the Sustainable Development Goals to life. At the heart of this transformation was my humble self, as Divine earlier said. I had to do this through the A6 Special Educational Needs Teacher Training Institute, an initiative that was born from a simple yet profound vision to create an alternative professional training approach that is low cost, inclusive, effective, and tailored to local realities. It focuses on equipping teachers with the tools and skills to provide quality, inclusive education for all children, including those with special educational needs, as well as all other varied, diverse category of audience in the community. We view the concept we have deployed as a model for interconnecting progress. The Cameroon Inclusive Special Education Training approach is a shining example of how addressing one sustainable development goal, for instance, quality education, which is goal 4, can foster progress across multiple goals in a holistic and sustainable manner. Allow me, therefore, to elaborate on this innovative program as it transforms our country across sectors inclusively. So we are talking about quality education. The primary focus for the program is to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education for children with special needs. Developing this actually implies that no child is left behind, because what we were trying to address, what made us to come up with this concept, is the fact that in Cameroon, prior to the project, teachers were not trained for all learners. Our focus is to train teachers that would describe themselves as teachers for all learners, not just for mainstream. It's not just about training teachers for special education, it's training a teacher who is both for needs, children with needs, and those without. So these are the areas we are talking about. So talking about education, if you can equip these children with quality education, accessible education, you are technically driving out poverty. Education is a powerful driver of poverty alleviation. By training teachers to include children with disabilities in mainstream schools, the program ensures that these children are no longer excluded from opportunities to learn and thrive. This reduces their livelihood of living in poverty and creates pathway for them to contribute meaningfully to society. Talking again about inclusive education, we are looking at the aspect of gender equality, which is a strong goal. Talking about the gender equality, our program is geared towards actively addressing gender disparities by recognizing that girls and those with disabilities face compounded barriers to education. By ensuring equitable access to education for all genders, it breaks down systematic inequalities and empowers young girls to rise above societal challenges. Talking about decent work, goal 8. There cannot be.
Mom, I know if you want to, you are so instrumental that we are so happy to have you indeed, because your presentation is actually reminding us of how this process went from the My World Global Survey, from the post-democracy agenda, where we're actually giving ballots, door-to-door ballots. I think you're actually making good sense of purpose to be here. So, Mom, what we'll do is that since we have the emails of all the participants, we shall take your presentation and forward to everyone so that they can better understand what you're talking about. Because of time, I want to say thank you very much, and we shall move to the next speaker, who is Kingsley. Kingsley is actually the information officer at the GGC, United Nations headquarters here in New York. Kingsley, you have the floor, please.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yes, Mom. Kingsley, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning, Divine. Good morning, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Just hold on a second. Let me lock my door.
Hawa, you have to question him. He's wasting our time, Hawa.
I'm waiting. I'm about to start right now. Welcome, my brother. How you doing?
Yes, Hawa, very good to see you today. I feel very much at home, knowing that my sister is around. Divine, I know you are pressed for time, but everyone has said all the nice things about you. Now, if I was the Speaker of Parliament of your country, I would say let's move a motion to call you Mr. SDG. Because I think SDG flows in your veins. If we were to do your blood test, it will be SDG positive. There's no doubt about that. So I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I've followed your history over the years, as you well know, from when you started translating SDGs into local dialects in all the countries, setting up your youth network across Africa and now in several countries of the world. You've been doing a fantastic job. And I'm really excited about where you are going next, which is the SDG Pavilion, which is good. Now, you told me, full disclosure, to talk about communication. I'm a communication specialist with the UN with over two decades of experience. So I'm not necessarily a spring chicken. So talking about innovative approach to communication, the SDG Pavilion is definitely one such, because it is an extraordinary initiative. I always say that communicating the SDGs is not that simple. Now, when we speak with ourselves, as we are here today, we are basically preaching to the choir, right? That's the easy part. Now, try talking the SDGs as a concept to people in the villages in Malawi or Mauritius, and you probably get a different vibe. But also, it is not that difficult. Come to think of it, what are SDGs? SDGs mean food on the table, right? Women and girls having the same rights as boys and men. It means clean air. It means opportunities for everyone, good food, nutritious food, people living healthy. That's SDGs. So that's something that we all should aspire to. So our communication approach as experts is to convey SDGs in a way that it aligns with the lived experience of ordinary people. Now, if we do that, then we are doing a good job. If we don't, then we're just having a shower with a raincoat on. We're not really talking to anybody. So this is why what you are doing, which is basically to take SDGs to the nooks and crannies of this world, is really key. And that is why the SDG Pavilion is such a good idea. Now, my experience teaches me that communication approaches are best determined by those who consume communication. So experts will call these target audiences. So we can segment these target audiences on the basis of demographics or psychographics, lifestyle. But sometimes these are mere intellectual exercises, because a few months ago, many people were probably plugged to the television stations in the United States, right? Everyone consuming news, they want to know what's going on. These days, the same people may be picking up their stories on their mobile devices, and now they are focusing on sports, on comedy. So nothing in this sense is really casting. So which means that as dynamic as information consumption patterns are, we as communicators must also be very dynamic. Talking about a wide and diversified audience, especially for you who is interacting with people at the grassroots level, sometimes you deal with socio-cultural, political context. Sometimes there are sensitivities, sometimes there are sensibilities. I'll give you an example. When I was in Sierra Leone, my country, my dear sister's country as well, Hawa, I was in Sierra Leone in 2015, communicating Ebola to everyone. We realized the message was not going across. It was not going across because people who were dying of Ebola were buried in black bags, which was offensive to local cultural sensitivities. So we didn't realize that, but as soon as we realized that, listening to the people at the grassroots level, it was a lot better for us. So the point I'm making is that communication is not just top down. So those of us who live in the UN, these are advice to us, we don't be in a bubble and think, hey, when we say SDG with all these fancy buzzwords, then everyone picks it up. But the best is sometimes it's bottom up. We need to hear from people like you. Now, your SDG Pavilions bridges that gap. Again, sometimes the message and the messenger, there's a misalignment between the two. So the messenger, the best messenger is not necessarily the UN Secretary General or the FAO head or the head of IMF or the head of World Bank or the head. The best messenger could just be the local comedian in your village, in Cameroon, in Yaoundé, in Bamenda. That could be the best messenger. So again, this is really, really important. Let's consider climate change, for example. What is climate change? Climate is changing. Good luck trying to explain CO2 emissions to people in the villages or even to young people, some young people. Nobody really understands what that means. I tried explaining that to my mom, for example. I say, hey, listen, we have an existential crisis. There's climate change. The world is falling down. We need to do something about it. And she just told me, listen, I know, but our problem now is we are hungry. We need food on the table. Now, why is there scarcity of food? Because there's drought. Because she says people are moving from the other regions of the country with their cattle because of drought and coming to the south and putting a strain on limited social infrastructure because there's floods. Now, that is the definition of climate change. So the connection, that connection has to be drawn. So for millions of people, addressing physiological needs, food, shelter, clothing, the things that they can't do without is the most important thing. Yeah, those needs, you cannot address them unless you address the existential priorities of our time. So the point I'm making is that this nuanced perspective is critical in communication with the public. And people like you and your organization, Divine, have been quite adept at doing this, and I want to congratulate you. So the final point I want to make is that we cannot communicate the SDGs, if I may reinforce, unless we slice and dice the buzzwords we hear during an event like this and convey information that resonates with the lived experiences of ordinary people. So I envision that your pavilion will bridge that gap. The term itself is a fantastic term, SDG Pavilions. I'm really jealous. I wish I came up with it. But I want to congratulate you, and I hope it gets the necessary wings to fly. Once more, I commend you, Divine, and I wish you good luck in your visionary journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, my brother Kingsley. Thank you very, very, very much for everything. Thanks for being the supportive. I want to echo here that my first interview with the United Nations is Kingsley that interviewed me. back in 2016 when I started the translations of the SDGs. 2017, I featured twice. You know, I mean, I want to thank you very much indeed, Kingsley and Hawa, of course, the global communications, the entire UN, agencies, be from Geneva to Austria to the country offices. I want to thank you all for this. And I want to say that I've actually cabled this, the Deputy Secretary General's office, and they're very, very excited about what we are doing, and they're actually replacing, they're going to support our endeavors. So with this, I wanna go to a very much important segment, which is the launching of the pavilion. I want to make it clear here that we started already. You know, we're not just talking. We started already in India. And I have my very good friend here, my professor, my very good friend, Dr. Sahada, who has actually been at the front line of everything we've been doing so far. So we have actually partnered with the CNN. We're doing a lot of work with CNN on environmental sustainability. Yes, so we have a very strong collaboration with CNN. I just want to echo that as well. So we are working closely with them. And the editor-in-chief, the editor-in-chief of CNN, actually, they are always very, very willing to listen to us to see what we're doing and where we are going to. So for the Call to Earth Day, actually, it's an activity. This year was for cleanup because we have planted trees worldwide. That we wanted to clean up these trees and make sure that they're actually going to grow sustainably. So by the grace of God, anytime this week, watch your CNN. We're going to send you the link to watch what we have done across the world with CNN and other partners on the ground. So Dr. Saranda actually, he's leading the Asian Hub for GCSAYN. I want to echo here that GCSAYN is present in each continent. Asia is his university or his college. In Europe is Zenda that just spoke. In Latin America, we have Ika, we have Kati, they're right here on the call, And then in North America, you have Canada, McGill University, and now the United States here trying to work things out with Ohio State University. They're already very, very positive about the agenda. So I think that we're going to make things happen right here. So I want to thank you all. For Africa, it's in Kabianga in Kenya, University of Kabianga. So we are well spread. It's not just by mouth, and they're not individuals, they're institutions that are representing us at the grassroots level, right up to the university level. So we are working with primary schools, high schools, and universities. TVET, and TVET is Arvis in Kenya that's actually spearheading all the vocational training activities. I think Irene is right here. I'm going to give her the floor once we finish with the launch. Now, the most important moment, I don't know, I'm sure Dr. Sarada was not prepared for this, but I mean, he has things to share. So Dr. Sarada, now it's your turn. You're going to tell us why you decided to move from the dialogues from the corners of SDGs to the pavilion. Dr. Sarada, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you, Divine.
Yeah, audible, be audible.
Yeah, clear. Okay, fine. So first of all, I would like to welcome all the nature lovers to this GCSAYN Dialogues conferences. But this is not conference actually. This is the global launch of the SDG Pavilion. Actually, what Divine has told that why we have shifted from the dialogues to the SDG Pavilion. Okay, so let me share my screen, and with that I will share some of the thoughts about the SDG Pavilion.
Can you shift a little bit? You have like a reflection of light that is like distorting your face.
Okay. So that's why. So I just put up my camera and I will speak. Okay, fine. So there is some difficulties in this lighting in this. This is actually dim. That's why light. So I have put up my camera for better understanding. So at first, I would like to thank.
But you need to show us what you are talking about so that people should see. It's better. It's better than staying without camera. Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but I am looking black, but the background of my college is looking good. That is Nursing Chaudhary Autonomous College, Jajpur, Odisha, India. I think it's very clear our logo of this our college. So what happened? Before the event of CNN, I discussed with my students who were present over here also, and some of my colleagues that what to do. Let us move from the indoor to the outdoor. Let us what to do. To take this idea to the civil society, the students, the staffs, and all the stakeholders of this SDG program. So this is a beautiful picture what our students have drawn on the floor. All the SDG, 17 SDG on the floor with having a PG Department of Botany welcoming all the guests for a seminar, of course. But the concept of SDG Pavilion is that Porisia, if you can show that picture of the SDG Pavilion, then it will be better. Yes, this one. Yes. So what we have done, we have assigned each student all the 17 goals. each student will explain the idealism of the SDGs to all the stakeholders. So what we have thought that if we go to the public and to explain the SDG, it will be a little bit difficult. So we have established a structure where we have a digital LED screen and we have certain texts and certain leaflets mentioning the SDGs, and our students are ever ready to explain each and every individual, every civil society, every students are public about the SDGs. And it is the idea of the students who told that, yes, sir, we are all the 17 SDGs, all the 17 students are ever ready to explain the SDG about the SDGs, what their ideas and how to achieve these SDGs. But the important point is that all of you know that if something is expressed in audio visual mode, then it will be impressive and everybody will be impressed to come to you. So in that structure, what you see in the slide, we have established a digital framework where all the dialogues that even our Secretary General is telling, our CSN, YN motto, and each audios are running continuously in that pavilion. So everything from A to Z of all the SDGs, all the characteristics, all the parameters are displayed at one stage, at one point, at one instance to all the public, all the stakeholders, all the nature lovers, so that they will be attracted towards the SDGs and to know something which is very important for our planet. And along with that, we have developed a QR code. Just you scan it and you can know about the SDGs and the details of the SDGs. So those students, those people who are literate, they can just scan and they can know the SDGs. So these are my students and my staffs who have done this event, a very important one. Along with that, we have done two initiatives. We have established a signature campaign side by side with the SDG Pavilion, not so far, but nearer to the SDG Pavilion, so that all the stakeholders who will move, who will visit our SDG Pavilion, they will sign or write a sentence for our nature, that we have to protect our nature. And side by side, we have also a selfie point mentioning of that SDG Pavilion and SDG background. And we are for nature, we can surely do something great for our nature so that we can protect our planet. So these are my students, staffs, including by the principal, the boss, and our students, Dr. Khanaprabha Sahu, principal, Dr. Ranjan Behera, and all the students, myself, all are signing. And we are overwhelmed that about 500 gathering are there in this innovative idea of my students. So it is a big round of applause for my students that they have developed such a concept that we have come out from indoor to outdoor to establish the SDG Pavilion to dissipate the knowledge of SDG to all the public. Likewise, Forisha, please carry on the slides. Yes, these are. Along with that, we moved on to the public places where we have cleaned up certain plastics, no plastics, and aware about the public, about what can be done. And main motto is that we have to include the youth, because our motto is that the climate smart agriculture youth network. We have to include all the youth of our area, all the youth of the society, that said they should come out of their home to know about what SDG is. Before 4 years, when we signed an MOU with CSAYN, nobody knows about the SDG. But now, thanks to Divine and all the CSN community, that Nancy Autonomous College, which is placed in a rural area, now in the global map, including the youth, that youth can change the world with their energy, with their innovations, with their minds, and with their action. So we believe in action, not only the ideas, but we convert these ideas into actions. Along with that, we have also conducted a seminar on green campus, so that youth can initiate their action from the campus itself, how it can be green and how can the SDG be performed or fulfilled in 2030. You can see our auditorium is full. No single seat is vacant. Almost above 500, and even some of the stands at last, there are no seat is available for this. So SDG, we have achieved this goal, that we have to dissipate the knowledge of the SDG. So everybody should know, everybody is a part. So they have the placards. And one more thing is that we have converted this language of English into the local language, so that the SDG motto can transmit to all the local people in the local language. They can understand what SDG is and what they can do from their home itself. And our students have expressed their views from morning to evening continuously about the SDG, about the SDG Pavilion, about the seminar, cleaning, no plastics, and all the activities of nature. And I can say it is a full packed program, 1 day or 2 day program, which involves all the students, staff, civil society, publics, the entrepreneur, the farmers, small and medium entrepreneur, everyone. So it is a new idea. So coming out of from that indoor to outdoor. See, all these are girl students. I can say here that 70% are girl students. They motivated others to join. So besides that, we have also formed a human chain. You can see the picture we have taken on the overhead, a human chain establishing the SDG. So thank you. This is from Dr. Sarda of India.
Yeah, so thank you very much. But before you go, you're not going right now. We will take this opportunity. I don't know if Ambassador Gether is here. I don't know if Ambassador Stefan is still here.
Yes.
If you are still here, let me know. Yes. Ambassador Gether, Ambassador Stefan, are you still here? Okay, I think that.
Oh, hey. So I'm here. And
no, hold on. I'm gonna give you the floor. Ambassador Stefan and Ambassador Gordon, are you here? If they're not here, okay. Mama Nina, are you here? Are you still here? I think they're all tired. They're very tired, so they have gone back to rest.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Hawa, Kingsley, everyone, you're gonna put on your camera, and then to endorse the SDG Pavilion, we're gonna give a big shout. You unmute yourself, and then when I say 1, 2, 3, go, you say SDG Pavilion endorse. You know that is the song. Okay. Everybody unmute, and your camera should be on. Everybody's camera should be on. Everyone's camera should be on. And you unmute yourself. Now we're gonna make a little bit of noise right here. Yes. When I say I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I say 5, all of us shout SDG Pavilion endorse. Okay. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go! SDG Pavilion.
Pavilion endorse.
Now you can meet yourself. You cannot meet yourself. So I'm so grateful for your attendance, but now we need to move to the next level. The next level, I'm gonna call on Juliet. Juliet, she's gonna speak on behalf of all the young people. Because of time, we have exceeded time. And I'm gonna give the floor to Irene Kimani of Arvis, which actually gonna speak on behalf of Arvis principal concerning training, because one of the key things that came out of this was training, education, and life skills. And I can see Beverly from ICA on this call. Beverly is gonna give her closing remarks as well. So let me start off with Juliet, and if Juliet has to speak, Farita, can you play her video first, which is 2-minute video? Can you do that?
Yes, I like to cover until I get. I don't cover me, say cover me. Now cover them, cover me.
Farita, can you play the video? Let me see if I can do from this end. You let me know if you see my screen. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Coming up now.
Can we see?
Yes, a beautiful.
Perfect. So let's close our ears and the mouth and just watch.
I cannot hear anything, Divine. I cannot hear anything.
Hey, Divine, just speaking for the group, we can't hear the audio if there's audio. So Divine, what might be happening is the audio is not coming through because it's being filtered out. So I would say just stop the share.
No worries. No,
okay,
no worries.
Perfect.
We shall share with you guys. No worries.
Okay.
Yes, yes, thank you very much, Juliet. Now she's gonna speak. Juliet, you take the floor. Just keep on from there. Juliet, take the floor. You give your remarks.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. Before I proceed, I want to appreciate the Executive Director of Climate Smart Agriculture Youth Network, my boss and my mentor, and to other distinguished guests that are present in this meeting. I'm so happy to be in your midst. So my name is Juliet Ejeze, and I'm calling from Nigeria. I'm the WASA Global Chair. WASA actually means Women in Agriculture for Sustainable Africa. It is one of the flagship of the Climate Smart Agriculture Youth Network that is centered on empowering young girls and women in agriculture. And one of their, our major objective is actually to empower young girls and women, while the general ones is just to, help to reduce poverty, which is one of the SDGs, reduce unemployment, and encourage women to connect with one another. I know that there are a lot of programs on women going on, but one thing that is so particular about this, our program, is that it gives us an opportunity to meet various women in different agribusiness and also to connect with them. And I will be sharing our achievements in the past 2 years. WASA was actually launched in 2021, and we launched, we started off with organizing agribusiness, training for women, and we started off with pig farming. I don't know whether the screen can be shared so that you get to see what we've done.
Request. Send a request.
I'm using my phone. I was not able to connect with my computer.
No worries. Julia, what we're going to do, we're going to share the PowerPoint presentation to everyone. Just keep on because of time.
So we started off with some pig farming business and also catfish farming. We also did snail farming. That's for the livestock sector. We now commenced with proceeded with sweet potato farming business and also tomato cultivation and processing. So these are the things we've been able to achieve in the couple of years. And some of the testimonials shared by the women who participated in this training was so encouraging. A lot of people that stopped farming, started going back to their farming businesses. A lot of people were able to connect with women in different farming businesses that aligns to their own, learning from one another. So it has really been a very encouraging journey. Seeing women, I myself, I'm also in agribusiness, I'm in pig farming business. Seeing other women going back to the farm and doing it well, practicing it in a sustainable manner is encouraging. We know that most women are concerned with, nutrition in their homes. I'm so happy to see women understanding how to provide, the right food for their family, and is a good way to go to actually achieve food security. This program was specifically for women in Africa. So the training harbored a lot of women from various African countries, learning from one another, people from different backgrounds, sharing their own experiences, others that had problems were able to share their problems, and there were so many answers. There were answers to their questions. So we were also able to develop our first newsletter that featured all the trainings and also the testimonials of the women. Maybe the MED will share with us later. Then for the next steps, we are really getting ready for 2025. We have a lot, to give the women. We are looking at rebranding and also revisiting our vision, our mission, to see that it actually aligns with the current needs of women. That these problems are country specific. We are trying to bring up programs that will actually address the current needs of women in different African countries. We're also looking at investing more in our capacity building, partnering with other organizations that, empower women, hosting tutorials that offers different educational content when it comes to sustainable farming practices. We're also looking at intensifying our advocacy, our mentorship, collaboration and partnership and all that. So these are the things, the trainings that we hosted in 2022 is part of our achievements, and really have a lot more, especially for the coming year. Thank you so much for having me. That will be all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Juliet, for always being there. Thanks for your commitment. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your enthusiasm. Thanks for your mentorship. I see we've seen what you've been able to do. So because of time, we shall just have 10 minutes more, 10 minutes more. The 10 minutes more are going to be for the interns that have actually benefited from GCSAYN to actually share their testimonies. I don't know, Vanessa from Youth Climate Institute, are you right here? Vanessa, are you on the call? No. So if she's not on the call, I'm gonna move now to Precious. Precious, are you on the call?
Yes, I'm on the call, sir.
Yes, so you have 2 minutes. 2 minutes, just two. No PowerPoint, just go straight to the point. 2 minutes. After that, I'll call the next person. Hurry up. Just 2 minutes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Otachidema Precious. I'm calling from Nigeria, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, College of Health, representing your Center of Excellence. I'm an intern in GCSAYN. I'm an intern and also a PA to the ED. This network has really benefited me, and also the projects, my school project I'm working on, it really wants to help in facilitating it, which is the assessment of health and environmental effect of inadequate sanitary convenience, which falls under the several SDGs, SDG 3, good health and well-being, SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, SDG 11, sustainable city and community, and 17, partnership for the achievement of this goal. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Let me go now to Nakiwa. Are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm present.
Yes, you have 2 minutes. Hurry up, hurry up. It's fast track here. Yes.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Nakijwa Wallace. I'm calling from Tanzania. I graduate from Munge Catholic University in Spanish. Well, I'll be speaking initially about school feeding products, school feeding in schools, and on how GCSAYN contributes in school feeding in schools. is improving nutrition, improving sustainable agriculture practices, and so forth. For example, the GCSAYN has managed to establish the school feeding practice in sub-Saharan Africa, example in Kenya, Uganda, and Nigeria, example in South Asia, in India, and so forth. So the school feeding practice is a critical in helping the sustainable development goals to be achieved. So as together, I'm encouraging you, all of us as a team, we should work together in order to achieve the SDGs in 2023. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed. It's Clinton Maranga. Are you right here? Clinton, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Faster.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Clinton
Where's your
Maranga.
camera? No camera? Perfect.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Clinton Maranga, a student from Harvest, Kenya. Currently, I'm undergoing with the project restoring land soil to ensure sustainable and resilient agriculture through use of recycling waste paper to produce compost garden plant food. The project is dealing with shielding paper, then decomposing the paper, then making use of organic manure in our soils. The main aim of the project was to reduce emission of greenhouse gases to the ozone layer. Bearing in mind, whenever we use excessive fertilizer in our farming, we make soil bring more acidification to the farmer and reduce the yield in our farming. So it helps also balance the carbon to nitrogen ratio, regulating the soil temperature by water retention in some dry areas, that is, reduce fertilizer and the pesticide. Fertilizer which is chemically produced in our organization are chemical mostly, which are have side effects which are bad to water and SDGs. Also, we have it helps to increase the microbial activity in the soil, causing increased nutrient mineralization rate for the benefit of our crops. With that, we have attained to achieve sustainable management of soil health, which is important in achieving several SDGs that are connected with the soil. That is to say, SDG number 1, no poverty, SDG number 2, which is zero hunger, SDG number 3, which is good health and well-being, SDG number 5, gender equality, SDG number 6, clean water and sanitation, SDG number 7, affordable and clean energy, SDG number 9, industry innovation and infrastructure, SDG number 11, sustainable cities and communities, SDG number 12, responsible consumption and production, 13, climate action, and the last one, life on land. All the SDGs are interconnected. So in short, we are producing a no hunger environment. Through use of organic, we achieve to clean, breathable environment by reduction of burning it. So in conclusion, to achieve sustainable development goals, we must protect Mother Earth. Every action matters, big or small, contribute to this mission. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much. Do I have Sibone here?
Yes, I'm here.
Carry on.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Lightness Chibone, and I'm calling from Tanzania. I'm an intern at GCSAYN, and my speech today is about school feeding programs' impact to SDGs. School feeding programs impact child development and contribute in achieving SDGs. These programs provide potential benefits for child health, nutrition, education, and sustainable food systems. School feeding programs are not just about providing meals, These are powerful tools in addressing multiple global challenges like stunting among children, food insecurity, undernutrition, together with sustainable food system. Our goal is to have nationwide food system programs that ensure nutritious meals are locally procured by 2030. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Now I'm going to shift to, I think, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, are you here? Emmanuel?
Yes, sir.
Are you here? Good. Yes. Yeah, you resemble the Secretary General of the United Nations. That's great. Carry on, man. You have 2 minutes.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Emmanuel Wanyonyi. I'm joining this call from Kenya. I'm an intern. I was an intern from 2021, and then during the internship program is when I met the ED, and I was able to acknowledge that SDG is not the name of a person. Yeah, and from there I took an initiative. I've been working on promotion of climate smart agriculture, having taken my background in agricultural extension, and I've been able to leverage on the same. And as we talk at now, I have been able to reach out 1,200 women farmers in agriculture, and that is from in line with Sustainable Development Goal number 5, which advocates for equality. So I'm taking training to women, and as from that, we are able to realize to accelerate sustainable development goal number 2, that is zero hunger. But you cannot do. I'm not doing it alone. And as GCSAYN interns, we are not partnering with other institutions in order for us to be able to deliver. So as even we shift from SDG dialogues to SDG Pavilion, I remain committed, because not because it is possible, but because I'm able to something in that phase.
Thank you very much indeed. Good job. Now let me give the floor to Irene. Irene is actually, she is the focal person. Excuse me, guys. The focal person for our TVET institutions at GCSAYN, and she works for ARBIS. So Irene, you have 3 minutes to give your remarks, and then after you give your remarks, I'm gonna give the floor to Liliana to close this session.
Thank you very much, Mr. Divine, the ED of Climate Smart Agriculture Youth Network.
Can we have your camera?
Sorry, I have a blackout where I am. If I put on my camera, you will not see me. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
But my net is on. So I was saying that thank you very much for this opportunity. Having listened to speaker after speaker talk about the commitment that of the SDGs, of realization of the SDGs, and of course, having listened to the interns and having them coming up with practical approaches, I'm very encouraged because working in a TVET institution and guiding our interns at the Rift Valley National Polytechnic, it is high time that we now go to the next level. Of course, moving from the dialogues which we have had in the past 2 years since we joined the network, and moving on now to the pavilion. And listening to the interns, I'm very encouraged, and I want to say that because we have a population of over 10,000 students, or 13,000 students actually, in the institution, it is high time we actually host a pavilion in the institution. That is something that we probably look at and see how we can be able to also marshal other TVET institutions to join us on board and see how best to involve all the youth in TVET to of course come to the point of having the pavilions, coming up with innovations, because innovations are the key. As you would know, in TVET institutions, training is really practical oriented, and the speakers that came before me actually spoke about education being the game changer, because we are instilling skills among the students. And I want to believe that if we bring the students together, if we inspire them, then they will come up with innovations that will help us to achieve the SDGs, and of course to make it a reality rather than just a discussion. So Divine, I don't want to go on and on because the time is limited, but I think we'll be having a conversation after this to see how to actually hold the first pavilion in TVET's in Kenya, held at the Rift Valley National Polytechnic. And of course, I'll be having that conversation with our principal to discuss and see how practical that is. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Arita. So endless support for, I mean, you've always been so instrumental in making sure that the training, vocational training is at the center of what we're doing. So I almost forgot one of our very good intern. We don't just have interns in Africa, we equally have in the UK. So Gilbert, are you here?
Yes, hello everyone.
Perfect.
Hello everyone. Nice to see you all. Honestly, it's been a pleasure to be part of this. I've heard everyone speak after speaker talking about all the same things that we've been trying to drive forward. I joined GCSAYN in 2021 after my first degree, which I did economics and international development. So I was exposed to the SDGs, but more so from a theoretical background. So we were dealing around the theories around addressing all these SDGs. But GCSAYN was my opportunity and my experience so far that has led me to understand the practices that are needed from companies such as GCSAYN and all other organizations that are trying to make our Earth more sustainable. And it has given me several insights into the different aspects that are needed from all of us, the efforts as well as the amount of work that is yet required from each one of us. I thank you, Mr. Divine, for this opportunity. Thank you, everyone, for every effort that you are driving forward. We all see you, and we hope we can all collaborate for a greater future. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Colleagues, I want to echo here that this is just a launch. A launch means that the action is still to come. So which means that we are just trying to like give a direction on what needs to be done for the next 5 years in achieving the SDGs. Let me recall that I was part of those that designed the SDGs from 2012 with Amuna Mohammed, with David Nabarro coming back in 2015 to be advising Ban Ki-moon, all of that, to 2014 and May 2015, where the report was handed to Helen Clark, administrator of the UNDP then. So I really understand the process. I really understand the dynamics. We took 2 years to design the SDGs, but right now we have 5 years to achieve them. Let's assume that the past 10 years was to see how to like advocate for it and get people understand or get people have voices about it. Right now we are going to concrete action. So we have 5 years, meaning that we have double the number of years which we use to design the SDGs. I would not mind. I would not mind. I would always say, if you want to change, you cannot change the world. They can change your community. You cannot change people. They can change yourself. So let's take it as an oath that okay, the 5 coming years, we're gonna organize, we're gonna set up pavilions massive pavilions at all our institutions of sectors of excellence, making sure that we build on that, we educate people door to door. I've always sent an email to Ethiopian Airlines, as I said early on, for them to equally be passing the SDGs on their flights and stuff like that. We're going to carry on with that activity for such a long time. Now, we cannot give everybody the floor, unfortunately, but I say all of you are recognized here on this call. You are all recognized. I can see Daniel, Rode, I can see Donna, I can see all my fellow colleagues from I can see Mr. Abdul from the foundation. Yes, I can see Divine Forestia. I can see everybody. Everybody is right here. So I'm going to give the floor now to our able mother and sister who has decided to bring the idea of volunteers, the idea of interns, and the alumni together at the UN. So you have the floor, Lina, to close this session. Thank you, and over to you. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
There you go.
So
well,
remember that Amina is watching at you. She's watching at you. So you have the floor.
First of all, thank you for inviting me. And I think it was a pleasure and an honor to be surrounded by so many wonderful people. Thank you for all your the guests you have from ambassadors and excellencies and colleagues from the UN, your organization, but also the interns that basically they are doing the hard work on the ground. So I think a big round of applause for everybody. Of course, I want to endorse and congratulate you and your organization, the Climate Smart Agriculture Youth Network Global. I hope this conversation continues and we can keep like an ongoing dialogue in the future with other organizations and other interns, and why not the interns of WAFUNIF, which are spread all over the world. And I think it's important, as I said, to stay in touch, to continue our work, and to continue to deliver what we have been committed since the beginning, since the 17 SDGs. Thank you and congratulations again.
Thank you very much. And I think, there's, I don't know whether we're going to say this is the last remark because all my people are here. So Hawa, please just say something to follow up with what your sister said. And I'm sure Kingsley's around too.
Absolutely, Divine. I'm just, again, totally inspired and really encouraged by all the really words I've heard, not just from paper, but really from the heart. Really just demonstrating what we can do, not as one person or one group, but really together, collective action, SDG 17 partnership. So again, congratulations, Divine. Congratulations to the interns, your team, and to all the new friends and partners that I have met. I really, 2025 and beyond is looking rosy. It's looking really good. And I can hardly wait to see what we do together on the continent, in the global north. If we have to go to the moon, count me there. I'm also there with you. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's Kingsley. Kingsley, are you on board or you have onboarded?
Yeah, thank you, Divine. When you are going to the moon, don't leave me behind. I want to be on that spaceship. Congratulations for what you are doing. I'm happy that we are moving the needle, moving the SDGs from abstraction to reality, practical application, especially among young people and the grassroots. So let's be on the front lines. Let's dig in and let's get it done. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And I forgot to announce that we are 10 years now. And I heard somewhere that our anniversary is going to take place in Dakar, in September, first week of September. So we are inviting all of you. So please stop keeping the $1 you have here. Economize now. So we economize $1 between now and September next year. I'll give you enough time. So I don't want excuses. And I don't want excuses. So let's carry on this endeavor right in Dakar. The road to Dakar is actually going to be very powerful. Thank you very much indeed, colleagues. And God bless you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you done?